Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Dream Setlist. And as promised, Mr. Rich Catino in the house today to help me out. He's going to put together his dream setlist for Whitesnake, and I'm going to do the same. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
All right, how's it going? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Yeah, I'm a little boring today. I got my ice cold water.
I had to pour a glass of wine because David Coverdale, in honor of Coverdale and his classy British self and his classy catalog of Whitesnake music, I gotta say.
Yes, I agree. I'm a big fan, as everybody knows here. Whitesnake is my number 3 favorite band of all time. I love them.
They're in my 10 or 20. I know they're in there somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to like put bands into perspective sometimes, but I for me, for as long as I can remember, it's always been, and the order has shifted over the years, but it's always been Purple, Sabbath, and Whitesnake. Those have been the top 3 forever. And then, right just after that comes, Uriah Heep and Zeppelin and The Who and Dream Theater and Symphony X and Kansas and, all the others. There's so many others, but the top 3 have been those 3 for so long. And I love Coverdale so much. It's like it's almost like it doesn't matter who's been in and out of this band. I love every lineup, and I just think the music always sounds like Whitesnake, right?
It does. Even if you're talking about the old stuff, the rhythm and blues stuff from the early 80s and late 70s, which not too many people know about. But you know how I found out about it, though? I mean, aside from seeing Slide It In and Love Ain't No Stranger on TV and Slow and Easy, do you remember Iron Maiden Killers?
Yeah.
The in-sleeve, I'm pretty sure it was the in-sleeve for the American one or the Japanese one, but Dave Murray had his Whitesnake shirt on. And that's how I discovered and looked into Whitesnake that early, because he had that shirt on. I was like, who the hell's Whitesnake?
Yeah.
And it had that, it had that logo that you're wearing on
the original, the best
with
logo.
The snake on. And I had no idea who they were, because what was available in America at that time for us?
Well, that was the problem. Yeah, there was nothing. So, I mean, like, I always knew Whitesnake because I was a huge Deep Purple fan before, and I knew he was in Purple. So I knew he had this other band, Whitesnake, but man, they couldn't get arrested here. You couldn't get any of their albums here, right? So until like Sliding In came out and really started hitting big, you didn't start to see any of those Whitesnake albums in the stores until after that album started breaking here. Then all of a sudden, there's Come and Get It. Oh, there's, Ready and Will. And there's all the other albums, the live album. Because I think I bought the live album, was the first thing I got after Slide It In came out. And all of a sudden that showed up. So I scooped that up, and then that one. And, but yeah, I always knew who they were, because obviously I loved him as a vocalist, but you couldn't get any of their stuff here unless you saw an import somewhere, right?
Yeah. It was really, I didn't, like I said, didn't really know much about them. And I saw Dave Murray wearing that Whitesnake shirt, and I was like, I don't have any of the records yet. I mean, you can start buying them. But then when you see the covers too, you're like, oh shit, I'm totally sold on this.
And that logo is the best.
Very cool. I mean, this one, the beginning from the first 2 albums is very plain.
Yeah.
But then when they started doing the actual snake in it, that's where it was awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan. I have many shirts with that original logo on it. Just love it.
What's that?
I have many shirts with that original logo on it. I love it.
This is my other favorite cover. This one and Love Hunter are my 2 favorites.
Yeah, Love Hunter is great. I mean, a lot of their covers are pretty cool looking, actually. And I wish they would go back to having like the snake on the cover and some cool stuff. Now it's kind of like that. It's got that. I mean, and that's fine too. It's regal, it's majestic looking, but I kind of miss the.
True. Yeah.
So what we've done today, as we've done every day here in March, is to either go back in time, the present or the future, and create a dream scenario, a dream set list from any year we want, any lineup we want, any songs, doesn't matter. Basically, and I mean we, not just Rich and I, everybody watching, calls the shots, put together your set list. And Rich and I have not shared notes. I have no idea what he's put together, nor he of mine. So I'm going to have him go first and give his set list here.
How do we figure in the lineup, by the way? Because I remember you said that's part of it. So do we talk about who's in the lineup, and maybe if someone comes out and guests on a track during the show?
You absolutely can do that.
Okay. All right, so I guess my main band would be Coverdale, Cozy Powell, Sykes, Marsden, Red Beach. I'm going for 3 guitar players because I
Wow,
need a little
okay.
bit of. I got to do the Maiden because I need a little bit of the flash of Vi. So I'm going to pull in Beach, a little bit of the rhythm and blues for Marsden, and then the magic of Sykes, and Murray on bass, and John Lord doing all the keyboard stuff. That's my main band.
Dream lineup. There you go. Cool.
Yeah. So how many do you want me to rattle off in the beginning?
Do the whole thing.
Really?
Take us through the show. Yep. Take us through the concert.
All right. So as much as I like a Bad Boys, I'm going to swap it out and do Children of the Night because it's still heavy and it's very similar, the type of riffing and the drive of it. So I'm doing that one first. Then I'm going to go to, I got to go through the vinyl here. Sorry. Then I'm going to go to Love Ain't No Stranger for the second one. Then I'm going to go to getting the little LA Sunset Strip here with Cheap and Nasty from this album. Bring out Vi so he can do his thing with the whammy bar, right? And that solo, it's totally crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So let him do his thing. Then I'm going to go to Come and Get It for Don't Break My Heart Again.
Great song.
And bring out Ian Pace so you can play the drums. Always love that song. I know it's semi a hit, but it's never in the set list. So I was like,
well, it was sort of a hit in the UK, not here. Yeah.
Right.
It's a great song.
Yeah. So then I'm going to go to Ready to Rock. Do you remember that song? It was on the live album, Live in the Still of the Night.
Yeah.
So it was before this album, right? Yes, it was before this one.
Yep.
Actually, before Good to Be Bad as well, I think.
It was right around the same time. So, but I don't know if Good to Be Bad was released yet. But it was that same lineup though. That's a great live album, by the way. For folks who have not heard it, it is a killer live album. Yeah,
because it's got the old stuff, as well as the more modern stuff, from '87 and '84.
Yep.
So Ready to Rock, then go to Take Me With You from Trouble. That's a good drive and rocker, and it kicks off this album too. Take Me With You. This is from '78, so we'll go to that. Keeping it pretty hard rocking in the beginning. Then I'm going to go to what's next. Back to the '87 album, which I've never heard this one live. Straight Through the Heart.
Good song.
Have you ever heard that one live? I don't think I've ever heard it.
No, I've never heard him play that live.
So Straight Through the Heart, and bring out Tommy Aldridge on drums for that. Even though he didn't play on the album, he's still on the tour. Then I'll go to the title track of this album. I mean, I could have picked this whole album just for the middle of the sentence, right? Because it's so incredible. But yeah, let's do the title track to Slide It In next. Then we'll go to Slip of the Tongue again. Bring out Vandenberg because he only played rhythm on it, correct? Vi did all the leads.
I did all. Actually, Adrian didn't play anything on the album because he had the hand injury.
Not even rhythms? I thought he did a few rhythms here.
Yeah, he didn't do anything on that album.
Wow. Okay. So we'll bring him out anyway because he was supposed to be on the album for Now You're Gone.
He did the whole tour of it.
Like that song. Yeah. So I always really like Now You're Gone.
Yeah, now
it's kind of a rocker, semi-ballad,
Yep.
So put that in the set list. I never heard that one live, I don't think. Anytime they've come around, it's always been Judgment Day, maybe The Deeper the Love, and that's it. Everything else is 87 and 84.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard, even on that tour, I don't think they played it because I saw them on that tour. I don't remember them playing it.
Yeah.
But it was a while ago. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. So that's what's that? That's the 8th song. No, 9th song. So we're halfway through. So I'm going to go with the title track to Forevermore with Fare Thee Well, like a medley.
Oh, cool.
Bring out Doug Aldridge because that's a really nice epic. And Fare Thee Well is not too long. So I think it would work really nice with the title track. Little break in the middle here I'm going to throw in there.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I don't have the album here, but I'm going to go to Snakebite and Queen of Hearts.
Oh,
that piano song.
Oh, yeah. Great
Snakebite. with another medley here, split it with that and Soldier of Fortune, Deep Purple, and
Wow.
let Joel come out, Joel Hoekstra, and do the acoustic guitar like he does on Soldier of Fortune.
Very cool.
Yeah. So you want me to keep
Like
going?
this
You
is
want
like an all-star event and everybody's still alive, right?
right? Except for Cozy, unfortunately. Just Cozy's not around. You want me to stop? You want to do your 10 and then I'll come back to me?
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going? Okay. All right. So then I'm going to go to the most recent album. I don't have it with me. So Shut Up and Kiss Me. That was a cool tune. With Reb and
I
Joel.
like the new album. It's a fun album.
Yeah, it is. I thought it was better than, I thought Good to Be Bad was okay, but it didn't quite get into the groove yet because that was the first album with Doug.
I think Forevermore is the best of the newer releases, I think, for me anyway.
Right. Yeah. So we'll do Shut Up and Kiss Me. Then I'm going to go back to this album. I don't think you picked this one. I don't think anybody picked this one. Wine, Women, and Song.
I love that song.
To kick off that second half, you know, with Shut Up and Kiss Me, I love the piano and how it kind of danced with that. They even say it in the song Honky Tonk Rhythm and Blues.
It's like a boogie song for them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool, but it's a good hard rocker. So that's why I wanted it to be, you know, in the second half with the other rockers. Then go with another classic. I got a couple classics in here because I can't avoid it. Slow and Easy. Just so brilliant. Sultry and sexy, and you know, it's got everything. I love it. The title track to probably my favorite Whitesnake cover, Love Hunter. I really like that one also.
Yep.
All right. Which they never play that ever.
They used to play it all the time back in the day, but they stopped. Honestly, I think they stopped playing that when Mickey Moody left the band because that was his signature song to play live. He would do the slide solo and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think once he was gone, they were like, all right, that's enough Love Hunter. So,
but I wanted to pick rockers that fit in the beginning of the set and the second half of the set that would kind of fit in with all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, not too bluesy, not too slow, because then it would kind of slow it down. That's why I threw in Queen of Hearts in the middle with Soldier of Fortune and Fare Thee Well. So a lot of Hunter there. And then another one, I bet you no one's going to pick this one. Young Blood, Your Hot Property.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
Right?
That's a good one.
Saints and Sinners.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What a great song that is.
And another great album.
Yes, very cool. This one has, if people don't know, it's got Crying in the Rain, the original.
Yep.
And this is the one with Here I Go Again.
Yep.
They re-recorded the two of them on the 87 album.
Very different sounding. I mean, it's still the song's the same, but they definitely have a different feel, both songs.
Yeah. And you can tell actually with this album where Slide It Go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can tell that's the next step. Let's see, Young Blood. And then I'm going with a song that should have been on the American version. And I have no idea why, because it's my favorite ballad, I think. Looking for Love. That was on the European version.
Yeah, that's a great
Didn't come out on the American version. What an awesome ballad that is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that in just for a nice break in between all the hard rocking. Then we'll go to the title track to this album, Ready and Willin', which is really good on that live album, Live in the Still of the Night, with Reb and Doug Aldridge doing that, you know, trade-off with the solo in the middle.
Absolutely. Yep.
Very, very cool. I'm
Another
glad
really
they brought that back.
album. Yeah, really.
What's that?
Really strong album.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too. I could have put Sweet Talker on there too, but I went with Ready and Willin'. And then this album also has Fool for Your Love in the original version. Everybody didn't know that.
Yep.
But I passed on it because they always play it in the set. So I'm like, I don't really need to hear that one. Let me hear something else. You know? Then I'm going to go to Slide It In again. And this song, there's two songs that are going to rotate. So when they do the tour, every other night, they're going to rotate it. So going with Gambler and All or Nothing. Because I can't choose.
They're both amazing. Yeah, they're both absolutely amazing. I mean, side one of that album is just absolutely all killer, no filler.
Yeah. This is a desert island album for me.
It is. That way, I don't know if you watched any of the Perfect Album shows that we did, but that was one of mine.
Yeah.
Even though the 87 album is my favorite Whitesnake album of all time, It's not a perfect album. That is a perfect album.
Right. Yeah, it's incredible. Really unstoppable. So All or Nothing and Gambler rotate in and out, and then close with Still of the Night, last song, the 20th song, with Tommy Aldridge back on drums.
Cool.
So that's my 20.
That's
maybe 20, maybe 22 and a half with my medleys. I don't know, my rotating.
All right. That's a good 2-hour set, right?
Yeah. A couple guests come back in.
So just out of curiosity, so where would you stage that show? So you got all these guest appearances, so that's got to be somewhere special, right?
I would say like, an outdoor theater, big place like PNC Bank or something.
Gotcha.
Like something nice outdoors, like in the summer, since it's Whitesnake.
Yeah.
You want to have the nice summer weather, so I would say something like that.
Cool. That's pretty neat. Yeah, that's that's something. I mean, I would love to be able to go to see something like that, right? I mean, that's like a dream, And quite frankly, because you hear all these rumors about Coverdale saying that they may do one final tour. And you would hope for a tour like that he would bring out all the stops and invite like all previous members to come play some of the memorable gigs, right? So yeah, it's definitely doable. Right?
It is, right?
Yeah. All right. So I went a different avenue, right? And I'm glad that we both took a kind of a different approach here. So what I did was I hopped in my time machine and I went back in time. So I went back to 1984. And because I never got to see them back in the day, and back this early, I wanted to be able to hop in my time machine and go back to see Coverdale, Mel Galley, John Sykes, Cozy Powell, Neil Murray, and John Lord together. Okay, so in my scenario, Mel doesn't get the arm injury and he's able to do the tour because in reality, he got some kind of injury. Sykes just did all the guitars, and eventually, I think after a couple of dates, John Lord went running off to the Deep Purple reunion. So in my scenario, the Deep Purple reunion is not quite happening yet. They want to do the tour, and Mel Galley is okay, and he does the tour. So you got the two guitar attack of Galley and Sykes. Neil Murray stays in the band, obviously also on bass, and Cozy's still there. This show is going to take place at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York, a place that I grew up going to all the time. And I picked that place because I wanted to kind of keep it true to the size venues they maybe could have headlined on that tour. Because again, they were just starting to break at that time. They weren't really huge yet. So, we're not going to do a Garden or Coliseum or, whatever. So I picked the Civic Center. Holds, I think, like 2,500 or 3,000, something like that. So it's probably doable. So we're going to start off my set with Take Me With You from the Trouble album. I figure that's a good, fast, crisp rocker to get things kind of going, right off the bat. From there, we're going to go to the title track to Slide It In. Okay. Right to the top, baby. Yeah. From there, we're going to go to the title track to Saints and Sinners. So we're going to start things off in pretty energetic fashion here. From there, we're going to go to a couple new tracks. We're going to do Slow and Simmering with Slow and Easy. From there, we're going to move into Love Ain't No Stranger. So right at the beginning of the set, they're going to get a nice dose of the new album. From there, we're going to start to play some old hits. So or old, I shouldn't say hits, but I guess notable tracks from the early album. So we've got Child of Babylon from Come and Get It.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
After that, we're going to do a little Walking in the Shadow of the Blues from the Love Hunter album. Mel's going to take like a little extended solo. So he's basically going to do the soloing that Bernie Marsden did when he was in the band. So Mel is going to take the extended solo in that particular song. Then after that, they're going to come out and they're going to play the title track to Trouble. Okay, Trouble's always coming my way.
That was an option for me too. I was going to throw that in mine also.
Yeah, I was like, it's gotta squeeze it in here somewhere.
Yeah.
From there, we're going to go back to Slide It In again for a little Spit It Out. This is going to let Sykes kind of rip it up a little bit on the guitar. Right?
Another great one.
From there, we're going to go to Ready and Willing for the song Ain't Gonna Cry No More. Right? Really good track.
Choice.
From there, we're going to go to Come and Get It for, I think you picked it, Don't Break My Heart Again.
Yes.
It's a tremendous song. And that should have been a big hit here in this country, if things were a little bit different. What a great song.
Yep. From
there, I'm going to kind of do a little bit what you did, except I'm going to keep them both in here. Back to Slide It In for All or Nothing. And as my mother is trying to FaceTime me here, we're going to go to All or Nothing and then Gambler. Okay, so those are
Oh,
the last two songs from Slide It In. They're going to play in this particular show. From there, we're going to go back to Saints and Sinners, to the original version of Crying in the Rain. But here, they're going to kind of play it a little bit like it would eventually become on the 87 album. And this
okay.
is going to let Sykes go berserk, and he's going to get his own, 2-3 minutes out there all by himself doing some crazy
Right.
soloing on the Gibson Les Paul. So the rest of the band is going to come back out after that. They're going to finish up Crying in the Rain. And of course, you got Cozy pounding it away in the background. Then they're going to move into Sweet Talker from Ready and Willing. All right.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that song, of course, you get a nice rampaging John Lord organ solo. He's going to extend that out a little bit, get to play a little stuff on his own. After that, we're going to go to, excuse me, Fool for Your Lovin'. I need a drink of water here. Hold on. Fool for Your Lovin' from the Ready and Willing album.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, the last song in the main part of the set is going to be Love Hunter. And they're going to bring out Mickey Moody for the triple guitar attack. He's going to do the slide solo and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so then they're going to, take their bow. The curtain's going to come down. They're going to go behind the stage, right? Everybody's going to be Whitesnake, Whitesnake, Whitesnake. We're going to bring them back out for a little audience participation for Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. That's going to go on for probably about 10 minutes because David's going to get everybody up and singing with the lighters and all that kind of shit. Because, of course, it's 84. People still bringing lighters and to concerts. Right. And then they're going to end the concert with, I think for this time period, I don't know how you can end it any other way, with a little Ready and Willing. And Coverdale's going to be like, are you ready and willing? Are you ready and willing? Are you ready and willing? Well, we are. And then everybody's just
like he does in the DVD. Like he does
exactly. And that's going to be the last song of the set. I toyed with having them come out and do like a Burn or Stormbringer, but I said, you know what? I want to keep this all Whitesnake stuff. And I'm pretty happy with my set list. So there, again, I chose to go this route because I saw them on the 87 tour. I saw them on Slip of the Tongue. I've seen them numerous times in recent years. So I kind of wanted to go back to an era that I just, didn't get a chance to catch them. So that's my show. 84, Mid-Hudson Civic Center, Poughkeepsie, New York.
How many songs did you have in yours?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19. One less than you.
Yeah.
And I think it probably makes sense because even with one less song than you did, because I got a couple solos in there. So that'll probably, stretch it out probably 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know.
Right. So where I have my two little medleys in there that I threw in there.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't even give Cozy a solo. Oh, I probably should have done that, right? Well, for everybody watching, Cozy's going to get a little solo in one of these songs. I don't know. Where would you, where does Tommy play his solo in usually? I'm trying to think.
Judgment Day or Crying in the Rain?
I was going to say, yeah.
I think Crying in the Rain, actually, mostly Crying in the Rain.
Yeah. So what I can do in mind is I can maybe let Sykes do his solo in Spit It Out. And then instead of doing his, he's going to do his solo anyway in Crying in the Rain. It's a long solo. But instead of him doing unaccompanied, I'll let Cozy do his unaccompanied solo in Crying in the Rain. Then everybody will come back in and join him. So that makes sense. I'm glad I didn't forget Cozy. How can you forget Cozy, right? I mean, Jesus.
That's why he's part of my main band.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah.
That's why I had to do Coverdale, him, Sykes, and then Murray, and then Lord, and then Marsden. So you got the guys from the first few albums, the early 80s, and then throwing Beach from the newer era. Because I would have put in Vibe, but I think he's good as guesting on a song or two. Because him and the band itself, I think it just didn't work. It was too flashy. But Beach is able to throw in a little bit of the flash, but not too much and overdo.
Yeah, I think Beach is very bluesy anyway, I think, when he wants to be. And I think I love Vi. I love him. He's great. He's one of the greats of all time. But I never thought he was a really good match for this band. No.
Even when I watched the Live at Donington, just some of the stuff, it's too much. It's too overdone. Too flashy. It just lost a lot of that feel from.
Yeah, he's too much of an out there virtuoso, I think, for a band like this, where you got to play for the song, right? I mean, and his idea of playing for the song is playing to instrumental stuff, right? That's the way it is. It's not his fault. I thought from the beginning he was a weird choice for this band. And, you have to wonder if they would have gone a different route, how things, would have worked out. I don't know.
Right. or if Vandenberg's hand wasn't injured, if he just played on the whole album, it could have had a little more, that 87, 84 feel, and not so much of the, the slip of the tongue LA Sunset Strip feel.
Yeah, true. And it's just weird because they had Adrian and Vivian doing the
Right.
87 tour, and I saw them on the tour. I thought they did fine together, but I guess David and Adrian, and Vivian didn't really get along too well. So then, Adrian got hurt and they had to do the album, and they brought in Vi to do everything. And you have to wonder if maybe after the album, if Vi decided not to stick around and do the tour, Adrian obviously was better by then. So could he done all of it on his own?
Right. I thought he played some rhythms. He didn't do any rhythms on Slip of the Tongue either.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. Huh. Yeah, he totally missed out. And then he had to learn all that stuff when they did the tour. And let's be real. Adrian Vandenberg is a great guitar player, but when you got to sit and play next to Vi every night on a tour, that's got to be pretty intimidating for anybody, right? Because how do you measure up against that? Yeah.
Well, that Live at Donington show, he's got 2 instrumentals in the show.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's included on this set. Or maybe it's not the whole thing. Maybe it's part of it. Yeah, it's only part of it. It doesn't have the whole show. That's a separate.
Yeah, because he had that solo album out right about the same time. So it's almost like that was probably part of the deal. They made with him.
What was it? Passion of Warfare, that album, right?
Yeah.
That was at the same time. Yeah, so he does the one instrumental that was really big, For the Love of God. Was that the title, right?
It might have been For the Love of God. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
So there you have it, everybody. 2 totally different Whitesnake Dream set list, right? And pretty cool, I think. So for all of you Whitesnake fans who are watching, in the comments below, put together your dream Whitesnake set list. Remember, it can be from any era, any year, any lineup, any group of songs, any venue you want to pick. Be creative. We're the boss here, so we're telling the band this is what you're going to play, and that's all there is to it. So if you want to play along,
I could do this with so many other bands, like Maiden needs your dream set list. Kiss needs one, instead of them playing the same old.
I know.
My Iron Maiden and my Kiss would probably be void of any hits, any standard greatest hit songs, and it'd be all never played or rarely played cuts.
Yeah. There's so many directions you can go, right? You can either do that and play all the, because it's like, sometimes for me, like with Maiden, well, I don't want to give anything away because with the Hudson Valley Squares is doing a Maiden episode next week. But, it's almost like I personally wouldn't mind going to see a Maiden show like next year where they do nothing but songs that they've recorded since Bruce came back. I'd be totally fine with that. But most people are like, oh, no, I got to hear all the, the same old. And I get that. I get it. But I've seen them so many times and they always play those songs.
That's the problem. They recycle a lot of the same songs. That's why they need to pull like a Dream Theater and you just do a whole different set list that no one's ever heard before and surprise everybody.
Yeah. Or do a different set list every single night.
Right. Rotate the set list too. Yeah. Like they've done that too as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's like no perfect answer because everybody, there are some people that go to concerts just because they want to hear those popular songs over and over and over again. It's okay to see that once or twice, but after a while, I'm like, why am I going to pay good money to go see the same show I saw last year and the year before that and the year before that, right?
They should rotate it. One year should be obscurities or deep cuts, and then the next year could be your greatest hits, and then you go back to, dusting off some other stuff, and then you go back to, But even when Maiden did that, with the Somewhere Back in Time and the Maiden England, the Seventh Son tour, they recycled songs from the previous tour still. Yeah. Yep.
So, but anyway, this was fun. It's always cool to think of what you would love to see if you were calling the shots. So again, everybody, put your dream set list below. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. Rich, you want to give a couple plugs while we're at it?
Sure. You can find me at metalasylum.net on Facebook, and we have a YouTube channel where we post all of our interviews that we do on Facebook Live, and Brave Words and the Metal Hall of Fame, and the Monsters Den with you guys as well.
That's right. So speaking of the Monsters Den, coming up
Yeah.
this Thursday, we have been plotting this for a little while. So maybe some of you have heard, if you're a monster fan or a horror film fan or whatever, there's this new film coming out at the end of the month called Godzilla versus Kong. Well,
Yeah.
in honor of getting ready for that,
Mhm.
Rich, myself, and Chris Allo this Thursday are going to rank the Godzilla Showa era series. So that's 1955 to 75, Rich, something like that.
78.
78. Okay. So the original series, we're going to rank, each of us are going to rank all 15 films in the order of our preference. Then the following week, we're going to do the Heisei, I think they say, and the
Yeah.
Millennium films. We're going to rank all the more recent stuff as we get ready for the big G versus the big K coming up at the end of the month. So the new film. So
Right.
2 weeks in a row of ranking the Godzilla films. So if you're a Godzilla fan, stay tuned for that. We've got other stuff coming up after that as well. So a lot of stuff happening on the Monsters Den side. Rich and I are also, hopefully over the next couple of weeks, going to be ranking the albums of Praying Mantis and Tigers of Pantang. We've both kind of been busy doing a bunch of things, so we kind of put that on hold for a little bit, but that's still in the works. So that'll be coming sometime soon too. So stay tuned for that and a lot more here on the channel. Thanks for watching. For Rich Catino, I am Pete Pardo. See you all later
guys.
on.
See you later.
Hudson Valley Squares. Bye-bye.